What's your last name?
Sakim.
Sakim. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have you go and step out the vehicle for me.
You never know what a simple traffic stop can uncover, and that's exactly what happened when the police flagged down this man who had turned out to be a wanted suspect for a 1994 Atlanta cold case murder from 28 years ago.
Wait a minute, from 28 years ago? That's crazy. So this dude been on the run for 30 years.
Who set the phone up on the car? They put me under arrest right now. I don't know. For driving with suspended license.
In this body cam footage, you can see Mohammed Bilal El Amin being pulled over by deputies Devin Blair and Lex Ogan during a routine check at a traffic stop. El Amin, who is assuming a fake identity as Rais Sakem, handed over his South Carolina license. When the deputy
my thing is, how do these people get these identities, you know what I'm saying, like that, and be just, I don't know, living the way they be living? Like, you know you a criminal. You know you a criminal. When you fucking do some crazy stuff and you want to change who you are and be living that life, living that lie, you know what I'm saying?
License. When the deputy ran it through a law enforcement database, it came back as having an active suspension.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to place you in custody today. Okay, you're gonna go down to jail.
Oh no, sir, I did not know. I have children, I have a sick uncle, and I run the household. No, I really do.
Besides a suspended license, El Amin was also driving an uninsured vehicle with a suspended registration. He tried begging to be given citations for the offenses and to be let go, going on and on and on about some family drama and how he was on his way to the ICU to check on a sick uncle.
Sir, I have a child at the house that they cannot take care of.
What all do you need out of your car?
Sir, I beg you, I beg of y'all.
Of course, his pathetic charade didn't work. The law required the deputies to take him into custody.
My aunt is old. She's 80 years old. Sir, please. I will not. I swear, you can. Please check me. Please check everything on me. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a crook. I look how old I am.
Did you get a ticket or something?
I didn't get
take care of.
I don't.
Why would they suspend your license in South Carolina?
The deputies saw all the red flags even before they found out that they actually caught a big fish who was, at one point, classified as the Federal Bureau of Investigation's most wanted. Once he was fingerprinted and booked in the Fulton County Jail, his prints revealed his true identity in the crime that he committed 28 years ago. On November 27th of 1994, the then 19-year-old Mohammed Bilal El Amin shot his friend, an 18-year-old Jaffer Tucker Jr., and this was in the face inside the Oakland City MARTA station, along Lee Street in Atlanta. An employee in the area heard the single gunshot and then saw El Amin running. The victim died on the spot. 3 days after the killing, detectives identified El Amin as the main suspect, but he was already on the run. The search finally ended 28 years later on a random traffic stop. What are the odds? The victim's uncle, Ernest Cook, was relieved to discover that the 3-decade search for his nephew's killer had finally come to an end.
Today was his worst day ever, and the greatest day for me and my family.
Can you slide your legs in for us?
You're not going to speak to me?
No, unfortunately, I told you. I've already explained my position.
Ow, this hurts.
I don't have a choice.
Sir, I have...
After his arrest, El Amin will be indicted on February 24th of 2023 on charges of felony murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. But while en route to the station where his true identity would be finally revealed, he took one last shot at pleading the deputy one last time.
I'm not from around here. I'm helping my family.
I believe you. I believe you are helping your family. But at the end of the day, I have a job I have to do.
El Amin must have been a pretty good criminal to manage staying off the radar for almost 3 decades. But, oh well, some things never last. Our past eventually catches up with us, and sometimes it's all because of a traffic stop.
Dang, so this dude been on the run for 30 years for killing his friend over some dumb nonsense. Changed his name, living a lie. Now, his folks probably is dependent on him if they're all that old for real, you know what I'm saying? And now you dealing and did what you did, and now things is about to be all crazy, shaky. Like, you killed somebody. It was on the run. So it's like, now you about to do that time, because when they took you to the station and fingerprinted you, they knew who you were. A wanted FBI person. And that's crazy, no bounty hunter or nobody like that was able to capture this guy.
This story out of Texas is upsetting, and we warn you, the footage might be hard to watch. It all went down in Houston when police spotted a stolen car in a dollar store parking lot. The cop parks behind the car, goes over to the driver, and tells the guy to get out.
Come your hands, don't move.
Do not move, kid.
That's when the cop explains to the guy why he wants him out of the car.
Step out. Step out. Because you get hit a stolen vehicle. Turn the vehicle off.
The guy then reaches for the steering wheel and gear shift and rams the stolen car into the cop car. The guy appears to keep his foot on the accelerator.
Stop.
When a woman comes from behind and approaches the officer.
Stop.
This is where things take a turn. Again, this might be hard to watch. As the woman engages with the cop, the guy in the stolen car takes off his seatbelt and gets out of the driver's seat. He knocks down the woman, and the cop engages with the guy. The cop restrains the guy on the ground as he pleads for help. During this exchange, police say the officer's taser gets knocked off, and the cop asks the woman to hand it over to him. As the woman walks over with the taser, the guy appears to overwhelm the cop and gets him down on the ground. And in the course of this struggle, the cop fires his gun. Backup soon arrived and tried to administer care to the guy, including CPR, but after paramedics got on the scene and took him to the hospital, he was later pronounced dead. This all went down last month, but the footage was just released. The 42-year-old black man who was shot and killed by police was unarmed. Research has found that in the US, fatal police shootings of unarmed black people are 3 times higher than it is for white people. Data has also found that in America, which has more guns than people, 1 in 20 gun homicides are carried out by police. The 35-year-old woman, a friend of the man who was killed, was detained and charged with interfering with public duties. An investigation into everything that went down is still ongoing, and experts say the officer involved will have to justify whether deadly force was an acceptable response to physical force.
And shout out to my guy Greg over at Crime Line, man. That's crazy. The police officer did not have to. Well, really, I ain't even gonna start off with the police officer because the car was stolen from what we heard. You up here acting stupid as shit. I'm sorry, but you should have just complied with the officer, got out the car, handled whatever you have to handle, because for the simple fact, look what it escalated to. And y'all gotta stop fighting against authority now. We do have some, trigger happy, I wanna mess somebody up type guys out there. Now, them type of situations you can't do too much about, but this could have been so avoided, you know what I'm saying?